Hello and welcome to a Pan That Palette update that I did not expect to be making. After 4 months of working on the NARSissist palette, I've decided to call it quits. And in this video, we're going to talk about why I've decided to stop panning this palette and how I'm going to be evolving this project so that I'm still working on using up my eyeshadows. The reason that I've decided to stop my Pan That palette is that it doesn't fit in with my lifestyle or my needs as someone who's chronically ill. We had a couple of hot weeks in May, and while the weather was beautiful, it affected my postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. My heart rate was high and I had very little energy. The idea of priming my eyes and putting on multiple eyeshadows just felt like too much. Instead, I found myself reaching for my Maybelline colour tattoo in On and On Bronze for a quick swipe of colour on my lid. And then, when I had the energy, I used the cream shade from the NARSissist palette on my brow bone. And that was me done. It was quick, it was simple, and most importantly, it took up minimal energy. And I realised that using a powdered eyeshadow palette regularly during the summer was just not going to work for me. So instead, I'm going to be moving to a Pan Those Eyeshadows project, which will allow me to switch things up seasonally and work on cream shadows in the summer. I am going to be taking this a step further and working on curating a capsule makeup bag, which will be a work in progress. For this, I've bought a magnetic empty palette and have started to pick a few shades for my capsule eyeshadow, as well as incorporating some other shades that I would like to work on using up. This taupe colour is a staple eyeshadow shade for me, so I've removed it from the number 7 trio it was in because it's the oldest taupe shade that I own. And I'm going to do the same with the cream shadow in my NARSissist palette. As you can see, I've hit pan on this shade, which feels like a great achievement, which wouldn't have happened if I hadn't attempted to pan the eyeshadow palette. We're not going to take a look at the uses for every single shade in this palette because there's nothing really significant, and I do have clips in my Project Pan shorts. I did also use this palette in November 2024. I was doing a trial run to make sure that this was a palette that I was going to be comfortable and confident using for an entire year. That went well, didn't it? There's 1 gram's worth of product in each of these pans, so I'm really interested to see how long it takes me to use this up. I've learned a lot from the 4 months that I've been panning my NARSissist palette. Well, 5 months if you count November 2024, so I don't consider it a failure. I've identified that the grey shade is ideal as a brow powder for me, and that I find powder products the easiest to work with if I want to do some eyeliner. And I've also identified that I favour a light warm tone shadow on my eyelid with a mid-tone shade in my crease for everyday wear. I'm really looking forward to transitioning to a Pan Those Eyeshadows project and filling you in more about these shades, as well as the cream eyeshadows that I'm going to be incorporating, and working on creating a capsule makeup bag. I'd love to know in the comments if you favour powder or cream eyeshadows, and if you switch up your makeup bag seasonally. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!